As you have seen and heard, there are several approaches to behavior management that can be effectively employed in virtually any classroom. While there are similarities and differences among them, they are all rooted in the same basic principles. There are 10 core principles that are important in the management of ADHD children in the classroom. The first of these is the immediacy of the consequences used by the teacher in managing ADHD behavior. ADHD children need consequences and feedback far more quickly than other children do if they are to help maintain control over their behavior. The frequency of consequences is also important. Children with ADHD need to have more feedback more often and more consequences for helping them to manage their behavior than do other children of the same age. Equally as important is the saliency of the consequences used by the teacher. This means that teachers need to use much more powerful forms of rewards and punishments than would be needed to manage the behavior of an otherwise normal student in the classroom. It is important that teachers should remember to act and not yak. This means that teachers should not look at ADHD as a problem of reasoning to be handled by talking to the child about their behavior. Teachers should act with consequences quickly, immediately, and more frequently than they do with other students. Keep in mind that positive programs need to be put into place before punishment programs or negative consequences. This means that a teacher should use reward programs for at least 1 to 2 weeks to change a child's behavior before instituting a punishment program aimed at the inappropriate behavior. Teachers need to anticipate potential problem situations and to have a plan in mind to manage disruptive behavior should it occur. ADHD children have significant problems when situations change in the classroom, say between academic subjects or between an academic subject and going to lunch. It is helpful at this time for the teacher to review a series of rules with the child and to set up a reward and a punishment program with the child before moving into the transition period. You must also maintain a sense of priorities during your behavior modification program. This means that you cannot work on all of the problems that an ADHD child may be having in the classroom at one time. Instead, you need to focus your efforts on one or a few important behaviors and work only on these for a while. As these improve, you can extend your behavior management program to other problem behaviors as well. It is helpful to keep a disability perspective about children with ADHD. It is very important that teachers remind themselves that these children are not intentionally misbehaving. Instead, the children are having difficulties with controlling their own behavior. So keep a disability perspective. It is important for you to remember not to personalize the problems of the ADHD student. ADHD is a disability that leads to highly variable behavior. Consequently, you must be sure not to blame yourself for the problems these children are having in your classroom. Finally, teachers need to practice forgiveness with their ADHD students. This means that you must forgive the child for the frequent disruptive behaviors they are going to show in your classroom each day. And you will need to forgive yourself as well for the mistakes you are likely to make as you go about attempting to institute these behavior change programs. Following these behavior management principles can result in a smoothly operating classroom for ADHD children and can significantly contribute to their academic success.